gonna get a couple parts for the Spitfire for this summer, and I'll tell you why I'm getting these parts here pretty soon. So stick around, and let's take a little trip. Okay, what's going on is I am heading down to Cranberry Township, south of Zelienople. It's about an hour drive one way. My plans are this summer to take the Spitfire and go to Wampum, PA, which is down by Beaver. It's a little west of Pittsburgh, which is still about an hour maybe or so from me, and racing in autocross. It's called Low Key Autocross at the Pittsburgh International Raceway. So I've been kind of working at getting things prepared for that, like when we put that inert fuel pump cutoff switch. I'm thinking I might be moving that to be more safer. What I need to do is I talked about it before, moving the fuel pump into the trunk, which I still want to do, because if it's inside the trunk and any of the lines get damaged from the fuel pump up to the motor in an accident, the cutoff switch will shut off the fuel pump, so you won't be pumping fuel all over the place. God forbid that we ever need to use it. And I'll probably be moving the inertia switch into the trunk, or I may move it just inside the car, behind the driver's seat, tuck it up there in the corner or something. So at least I have a way to get to it, because a friend of mine was saying, what if you hit a hard bump? I don't think it'll do that, but you never know. And if it does, I can coast over to the side of the road, reach back and reset the pump if that's the issue. So I'm on Route 19 heading south. I am just north of Mercer, and we're going to be there a little bit after 10. We're going to meet the guy about 10:30. I do got to stop and get some gas, so I'll do that. And I'll kind of show you what we're getting. Hopefully it gives me a little bit more performance. I've been wanting to do this. I just haven't ran across the right deal, and it reared its head, so I am going for it. Sold a few things over the last week or so to be able to fund this stuff. As you know, I said in a previous video that I have taken a pay cut because I am taking care of my mother, and now we have an issue with my wife, so we'll talk about that later. So I'm going to be kind of busy, and guys could help out a little bit. Every little bit counts to keep this content coming to you. There is a description down in the description below. There is a link to my Patreon, and I'm going to start adding stuff to that. And you can do a one-time donation or support me monthly. And there's a link to buy me a coffee. Exact same thing. You can just one time offer up to help out or do a monthly support. But yeah, this is where we're at. It's raining, and they're talking about it changing over to snow, so I want to get down here and get back before that happens, because if it changes over to snow, it's going to get cold enough to where these wet roads will turn to ice. So, let's do it.
Down in Pennsylvania's grunge, reasons sparks they mingle. Old triumphs hard to tune, bringing classics back to jingle. TR6's Spitfires roar, every bolt another story. Frame repair, he'll restore, grit, sweat, the daily glory. Lost wrench garage, the name, engine roars and metal clangs, turning rust into flame with every beam that shallow bangs. Welding mask and steady hands, rusty frames now gleam anew. With his touch they rise and stand, rolling free through skies of blue. Downward catches every scene from the shop's chaotic dance. Step by step keeping machines in the game another chance. TR6's Spitfires roar, every bolt another story. Frame repair, he'll restore, grit and sweat, the daily glory. Lost wrench garage, the name, engine roars and metal clangs, turning rust into flame with every beam that shadow bangs. Lost wrench garage, the name, engine roars and metal clangs, turning rust into flame with every beat that shadow bangs.
Okay, we got the parts. I'll have to show you here whenever I get a chance. I'm heading back north now. It is 11 o'clock. I'll be home by noon, somewhere in there. It's about an hour for me to get there. I didn't want to film. And it was cold, nasty, it's raining. Just get the parts, and we chatted for a short bit. He's going to be at the Pittsburgh Grand Prix. We'll talk more about that here soon. I'll put information out for you about that. What's going to go on there. Well, we got a lot going on this year. Well, a lot of plans. Hopefully it works out. Guys, we made it back to the house. It started getting crappy out on the way back. It was raining earlier, and then it changed over to snow and started coming down real heavy as the further north I got. I knew it was going to change. That's why I hurried up to get down there and get back. And the roads got crappy. It started, because the rain started freezing up on the roads, and then the snow covering it, starting to cover it. And yeah, so I just hurried up and hammered down, got back here. But I'm going to show you what I picked up and why I picked them up. Okay. First of all, yeah, I got a new aluminum radiator. Well, it's used. It's got a few pins there. I can always fix those, straighten them out. But this stuff has been barely used. The fella that I got the parts off of lives south of Pittsburgh, down by Interstate 70. So I met him halfway. I got a hell of a deal on these parts. If you went to buy all three of these, you're probably going to be looking at right around $700 to $800. And I picked this up for, let's say, close to half. I'm not going to throw out any numbers, but I sold a few things around here, and I was able to snag these up. But first of all, it is a Carter. Let's bring this up here. Carter carburetor. I can't recall the model number, but it's not a 3236. I think it's a 3232. I'll have to look into it more. But the fellow said bought this, put it on his car, and couldn't get the engine started for some reason. And then the fellow I bought off of, he bought the car as a parts car for the transmission, drive shaft, and etc., because it had an overdrive. And that's what. So this carburetor is virtually new. It's going to add to the performance of the car, and then especially with the header. This header is in excellent condition. And a little bit of surface rust here and there. I just brought it in, as you can see the snow on it. It's got a thick flange on it. And then I don't understand why this guy, the previous owner, to the guy that I bought it off of. Let's bring this over here. Trying to do this one-handed. This is a collector that you put, that slides into the header, and then you bolt your exhaust manifold to it. But this guy, that previous owner, booger welded this pipe. I ain't sure if it goes inside or not. And then necked it down, booger welded this into there. And then back to this size exhaust, booger welded that together. I don't understand it. That's a restriction. That's a hell of a restriction. You're going to have a lot of back, and that's a Bell exhaust stainless steel. So I'm not sure, but I'm going to have to see if I could use this on my car, because my pipes are about that wide, about that diameter. And if I'm going to use he had the exhaust system that he got off his car too. It was the I can't remember now. I'll put it up in here, the picture up. But that's besides the point. I didn't want the exhaust system because I already got a good exhaust system, and it's not as loud as the other ones that everybody says they love, but I can't stand loud cars, super loud cars anymore. But the radiator, all aluminum. Like I said, the fins are kind of played with, and got a few little, but I can straighten them out with a pick. And from what I can see inside, to me, I'm not sure if they even had much fluid in there at all. But that's going to help out a ton with cooling, because it's wider than the stock the stock radiator on the Spitfire. So I'm stoked to get all these, and let's talk about why I got them. But I've been wanting to put a header and different carburetor intake on the car for a while now. I didn't want to go twin SUs. I mean, if I was able to find a decent pair that will do the trick, I'll do that. But I wanted to put a header on it. I may even think about putting a cam in it. That we'll see once we get all this on and see how the car performs. And if I decide I want to do a cam swap, I'll do a cam swap. But the reason why I bought the parts is I'm going to do some autocross. Down in Wampum, PA, they had Pittsburgh International Raceway. They do autocross, and it's called pit race, low key autocross. You could take your car, any car, except for SUVs, high center of gravity vehicles, and all that. You'd have to look it up on the website and what you can do it in. But you go there, and as long as you got a seatbelt and helmet, which is from I think it's 2018 and newer, and Snell approved, you can go there. But autocross, it's just it's a timed event that you do for yourself. You don't go up against other folks, no other cars on the track. It's just you and the track. From the time you start at the starting line and go through the course, there's lefts, rights, hairpins, chicanes. It's all on a track with cones laid out. And it's timed from the time you start to the time you finish. And all you do is try to beat your own time. You try to get your driving skills honed, and you try and improve your time each time. And in a day's session, you could probably get out there about 4 times. And then they do it once a month throughout the season. First one is in April, if I'm not mistaken. We'll see how it goes if I can make it to that one. May, I like to hit May, but then in June I have another event I need to be at, the YouTube Creator Rendezvous over at Freezer Bound Outdoors. And my other channel, well, I'll do it this channel and my other channel I'm going there camping overnight, and we do different stuff there and all that. And we have other YouTubers show up, so we do collaborations and interviews, and you can set up to do collaborations. It's a good time. And then I may go back into July. I don't know if I'll be doing the autocross, because in July they have down there at Wampum, they have a race coming up that is Triumph versus MG. I'll put a picture up here and the link up above if you're interested. You might want to check that out. And then the weekend after that is the Pittsburgh Grand Prix in downtown Pittsburgh in Schenley Park. They do vintage racing in the streets of Pittsburgh. They have big car shows, and that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to put the car in the car show. I'm not going to race down there because maybe next year. We'll see what happens. And so that's why I bought those parts, is because it's just a little bit more performance. I've been wanting, like I said, I've been wanting a different carburetor intake and a header, because it makes a big difference on these engines. So we'll see. But today I just got home. It's Sunday, and I'm gonna start tinkering with this. Probably during the week, not right now. I got things I got to get done the rest of the day, and then I'll go take care of my mother and stuff. And the weather's getting really bad, so we'll see how it goes in the morning if I'm gonna make it to my mother's early enough. But got a lot going on. But yep, we'll get back at it. I just kind of wanted to give you guys a heads up of what I got and why. So yeah, but I think I'm gonna call this a video. I'm trying to keep my video shorter. This was gonna run out to about a half hour or so, somewhere in there. But I do appreciate you guys hanging out with me, taking the trip down, seeing what I'm doing. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be where I'm at. We're growing slowly. But if you like this kind of stuff and you want to watch more, subscribe. Mash the bell notification and click all. That lets you know whenever I post new content. We're going to get back at doing tearing the parts off and start installing in the next video. But leave a comment. I try to reply to all my comments. And it's a good way for me to find your channel. I'd check out channels. And if you got good content, or if you're a supporter of my channel, even though you don't have videos, I still subscribe. Because you subscribe to me. But give me a big thumbs up and not the finger. And hey, why don't you check that video out? You might like it. I don't know. We'll see. But we'll see you on the next one. Peace.